Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sen, your executive producer here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $20 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. Those being Jaden Alexander, Samantha Bates, and L, without whom we were able to do nearly as much as we do now. So thank you very much for your support of the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Grantera. Sorry, not Grantera. I went way back. Exandria Rising. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and I'm joined, at least temporarily, by Jeremy.
Hi. We'll see if I stick around or come back in an hour and 30 minutes or so. I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Elefira. She's a water genasi and she's a rogue.
And Shani.
Hi, I am William Orshani, and I am playing Najka, the orc craftsman of the Order of the Forge, Order of the Forge Knight.
Jack, who will be playing the Good Goblins, is unfortunately not filling up to playing tonight, and so isn't joining us. But we are joined by Craig.
Hi, I will be playing Grouper, the Fisherfish Circle of the Moon Druid. I am broadcasting this week from a secure location. Sorry, I look like I'm in a liminal space.
And Drevian.
Drevian, I am playing Tenebrous, a Gerbine Witch.
Who's also broadcasting from a different liminal space. And Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Davina, a silky folk mystic.
Technically speaking, we're all broadcasting from liminal spaces. It's just that it's in our brain. But when last we left off, the adventuring party had been given access and control over a fortification located on the at the mouth at the river mouth of Owlset Bay. It's the mouth of the river, but the head of the bay, I don't know. I'm not sure how that particular geographical overlap works, but an old abandoned dwarven ruin in Owlset Bay, old, mostly abandoned, having been most recently
The head of
occupied.
a river is its source. The mouth is where it empties into a larger body.
Okay, so mouth of the river, but not mouth of the bay, because mouth of the bay is further away.
Yeah, the mouth of the bay is where the bay enters the ocean.
Yeah. Anyways, but it had previously been occupied by members of the potentially terrorist organization, the Torchbearers. And by previously, that is to say, up until the point where Elefir's mentor, Rook, arrived and defenestrated several of them. Having been given the run of the ruins and tasked with holding and defending it, because whatever the Torchbearers are interested in, they're probably going to come back for it. Rook took off after a little bit of tension began to rise around Grouper's distrust of knives, even though Rook didn't have any. We had a few intense emotional conversations that took place underwater. And left off with Elefira swimming away from one, while Najka located a metal wall behind some of the brick facade of the ruin. We're actually going to start with Elefira really quickly. As you
Okay.
are you getting out of the water, or are you just swimming away further out into the bay?
Out of the water.
All right. As you get out of the water, Baywatch style, you
Yep.
feel you feel something enter your pocket.
Take a look around real quick, just instinctively.
Uh-huh.
Don't see anybody, I'm assuming.
I don't think anybody that was underwater was following you, and everyone else is inside the keep.
Well, right. I'm saying I don't see any
Correct.
indication of who slipped something into my pocket.
Right.
Okay. Well, especially it's fun since no one's around. I will check and see what it is.
It's another one of those little scrolls that Rook
Okay.
can teleport into your pocket.
Yep. I head inside. I start heading towards inside and pull it out and read.
Yeah, it is not encoded, which is the first time you've ever seen one of these not encoded.
Okay.
It just says, "Sorry for threatening your fish. Let me know if you find anything."
Got it.
As Rook is very physically capable, but not very emotionally intelligent.
That is fair. Cool. I'm just going to assume that whatever I do, Rook can see at the moment. So I just shrug as if to say, no big deal. And I am making my way into situate myself.
So you do come. I'm going to go ahead and move you and Nanshka because you'll see where it's at. The wall
feeling.
that Nanshka has found.
Yeah, I thought so.
Is over here at the end of the. None of this is decorated. By for the viewers that don't see this, I went ahead and put together the map of their bastion, which you'll see once it's actually like in reality. It doesn't look like this yet. It's mostly just ruins, but the layout is still correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this far wall at the end of one of the like hallways that doesn't go anywhere seemingly. You as you turn the corner and walk in, just familiarizing yourself with the layout. You see that Nanshka has pulled aside some bits of the brickwork, and there is a metallic wall behind it that is of the same metal that your ship is made out of.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, that's a thing.
Aye, and if it's anything like the last thing that we encountered, if this is a door, we're gonna need Martin Victoria to open it.
I mean, let me hold on just a second. I need something here. I'm gonna walk up to the door.
Oh, right. Oh, you also have a bit of tech. I don't know if it'll respond to the sword.
Well, tech, but also, I don't know. Maybe we can just fucking.
So you walk up to it. It's not a door.
the
It's
goddamn
just a wall.
Okay. I pull out the armature
Mm-hmm.
and
Tap it against it.
look
no
for
reaction.
somewhere to
No.
insert it.
No, doesn't seem to be any sort of keyhole or opening mechanism as far as you can tell. This is definitely part of a pre-calamity ruin, but it doesn't seem like an entrance. Or if it is, you don't know how it opens.
Huh.
I suppose it would be a bit too convenient for the door to be the one part that gets exposed from the rubble.
You think we gotta walk around it?
I mean, we can take a look around. Judging the circumference based, assuming this is either square or circular, it's somewhere. She sort of waves her arms in general direction of like the room should look something like this.
So if you
like,
from what you've seen, there is a cliff face on this side of the building. Like this is where the keep meets the cliff.
Yeah,
so
Okay.
you can't really tell how big a room it might be. Like it might be as wide as the wall you've got here, or it might be bigger. It might be smaller. It like you've no idea what it's gonna look like on the other side.
has Nautica ever found anything that can effectively punch a hole in this metal?
I mean, it's on your ship.
The big gun, yes, but anything man portable.
Not yet. There,
I
let me
knock
Does it
just
react
on
to
it
heat at all?
just for fun.
You knock on it. Go ahead, just make a perception check while you knock on it.
Yeah.
What was that, Nautica?
Does it react to heat at all in my experience?
It gets warm, yeah.
Does it have a melting point that I've ever reached?
Not that you've been able to generate in the circumstances in which you've encountered large bits of the substance.
Yeah. I have never been able to take one back to a forge for like
Yeah.
optimum heat.
9.
You knock on it. There's a bit of an echo behind it. Like there is a chamber behind this wall.
Open up.
No reaction.
Hang on a second.
Well, I tried everything I can think of. Um,
Nashka is just going to like pull the forge maul out and just thump and see if there's any give.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Athletics, normal, 18.
You thump it pretty hard, and the forge maul just bounces out of your hand.
Yeah. This one's not spontaneously less durable than the other ones we've encountered.
huh.
You don't happen to have a scroll of pass wall or something in those pockets, eh?
I do not. I do not generally keep too much of a habit of keeping things on me that are completely useless to me.
You've never had to go
Specifically.
through a wall before.
I can't cast spells off of scrolls.
Alan?
Remember, not all of us are magic users.
To be fair, I'm hardly a magic user.
You should know better. Yeah, no, I don't have a passwall scroll regardless. Well, if you find a lock, that let me know. I'll pick it. I'm gonna go find my room, and I turn around and I walk off, and I will be back in an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, good to know.
I have to be careful so I don't knock you all out.
And now we have to get a different device to come in as a fill-in camera for Jeremy. Can anyone else log into Zoom on their phone?
Where's my phone at?
Otherwise, I get to spend like 20 minutes rearranging cameras.
I think I can. Hold on.
Whoever does it first gets a cookie digitally, so not a real one.
No, thank you. I reject all non-necessary cookies.
But this one's gluten-free. It's also everything else free.
So are most digital cookies.
That is the joke. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. So, for those watching, as we are trying to fix our camera issue, yeah, Jeremy had to step out temporarily because the person doing coverage for the show that starts now, or started 30 minutes ago, apparently isn't doing coverage today without any notification or warning. So, it happens occasionally.
Sometimes work be like that.
You don't think it be, but it do.
Hang on a second. I'm running into the most stupid issue with my phone, which is that in Slack it refuses to click a pinned link in a message instead of trying to navigate to the message. So let me just real quick paste that link.
It's fine. I get to modify a bunch of tokens while I wait. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da ba da ba ba da ba da ba ba da ba 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 da da.
Gerald has just
Of course, I'll
informed
have
me
to
it is
update the
negative
Zoom
20 degrees
application first.
outside in Georgia. So
What was that?
anyone,
What was that?
my child informed me it is negative 20 degrees outside in Georgia. If anyone wanted a weather report,
Is that accurate? Or
he's
is it just
bragging about how Austin let him go outside to help him with the trash and didn't have him put like shoes or a jacket or hat or anything on. And he's fine. And it was like negative 20 degrees.
It's 33 degrees to be specific. It's still above freezing.
good?
Mm.
That's what I thought. I was pretty certain
There
it
will
wasn't
still
below
be
freezing.
a later conversation with an Austin.
39 degrees currently, actually, but at least according to Google. But the low tonight is 33.
How are we doing on that phone?
Working on it. I had to update the Zoom app on my phone. And it's been a while since I actually had to use Zoom.
On
Yeah.
your phone, you mean? Because you
on
use
my
Zoom
phone.
every week.
Yes. I use Zoom every week on my computer, but on my phone.
Hey, there we go. Now I just have to rearrange everything.
They're a
Ta-da!
definite
All
option.
right, good. Now we're working. So, meanwhile, Grouper,
Yes.
what you doing underwater?
Swimming around, sharking it up, feeling entirely emotionally modulated and totally fine.
Davina would like to have conversation with Rupert.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I'm assuming that she stayed after that conversation and after Ella left.
So you absolutely could have.
Actually, I think I'm a seal now, right? I shifted.
You are a seal.
I think
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm a
seal
seal.
now.
I mean, I could be a seal too if we wanted
Yeah,
to make it a seal
absolutely.
party.
Why would I
but,
be a seal if nobody's around?
I'm trying to remember where that conversation ended between the two of them.
It ended with Elafira walking away, or swimming away.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics of what was being said, just that that's what happened.
Grouper asked essentially why. Who was it and why did you leave?
That's
Ella said that she was not ready to talk about that at the moment.
Because Grouper had assumed it was Rook,
it. And it was not.
supposedly.
That would be a very inappropriate relationship for a mentor and mentee.
That's definitely what Grouper is thinking about. Grouper's like, I hadn't considered the HR angle.
Gotta always remember the HR index.
But
Especially
yeah,
considering that you're about to
Davina
be in HR.
Davina will stay. And
Also, wasn't Davina hiding behind a rock for that entire
well, she
conversation?
was, but then she came out because towards the end of it, Grouper was like, "I see you there,"
It's
and so she
good
came
to know
out.
good to know that Davina came out. I'm very
Yeah.
proud of her.
Yeah, it took a lot of guts.
Rainbow seashells everywhere.
Rainbow seals. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, in your head, you will just hear like this almost timid voice. How are you?
Were you there for the whole thing, or just the end, or?
Mental, deep voice.
That's right. Well, although he is a seal.
Mental again.
Yes, I was there for the whole thing. I was coming for support and I wanted to leave, but then I couldn't stop watching, so I'm really sorry about invading your privacy.
I mean, we're in the middle of a bay. It's not exactly private. If we'd wanted to have a private conversation, we could have picked a better spot for it. It's all right. I just was wondering how much I needed to recap. We're talking. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah,
How's that working out?
you're talking and neither one of you is dead yet. So, good. Progress. I don't know. I'm not a marriage counselor. I've never
We're not.
before.
I really thought it was Rook.
No.
It was the smoking. She didn't used to smoke, and then they both smoke, and I don't know. It wasn't a rational.
Everybody who has ever smoked has been sleeping with Elefira.
I wonder if there actually was another person that she left you for, or if it was something else entirely and that's just what she told you.
He just does continue to do sort of little loops. Flop is kind of echoing him in the circles. Did she say something?
No, it's just a thought I had.
Hmm.
Just knowing Ella.
Do you still feel like you know Ella? Because I feel like I used to know Ella too.
She's changed. We've all changed. In one way or another, even you. We're not the same kids we used to be.
No, you're right. What makes you think that?
Sorry, I'm sorry, my mind just went. Think
That she was lying about there even being a person.
Ella is very dedicated to her work. And I just have a few theories. I think either there wasn't a person and it was something involving her work, or there was a person, but it was something she had to do for a job. Again, there's no proof to back this up. They're just theories I've had.
While you're having this conversation, can both of you give me perception checks, please?
We're gonna die.
Mhm.
21.
29.
While you're in the middle of this conversation, you notice, just out of the corner of your eye, Grouper, something move in the water. something large, and not immediately next to you. But it does occur to you that you haven't verified if this bay is the lair of anything big under the water.
Gruber goes, "Look, an excuse," and turns and starts swimming in that direction.
Gruber, wait!
So it's hard for you to tell what it is specifically when you see the movement because it's the same color as the water, and so it's kind of like seeing a different density of water flowing through like a heavier density of water flowing through a lighter density of water almost. It's like you're seeing the motion more than you're seeing the creature as you swim off in that direction. I need to make a roll for it because you're getting closer.
Gruber, we are not done with this conversation you hear in your head.
Sorry, there's a threat. We have to respond. Goodbye.
And I'm coming with you, slow down.
Make a nature check for me real quick.
Sorry, the timbre of that sentence fucking killed me. There's
Only
a
an
threat.
11.
We have to respond. Goodbye.
So you realize slightly too late that this thing is much larger than you thought. As you almost swim directly into part of it that was moving that you couldn't see. What you are pointing yourself at is this long, almost snake-like creature that has these ridged fins going along either side of its body, of its long tubular body, sort of pointed lizard-like face and nose with many rows of teeth that open, as it turns to look at you with these big purple eyes. You're not sure what it is, but it has wings too that sort of unfold, and your brain screams dragon.
Okay, so it's not translucent like water. It's just
No,
water.
it is the same color as the water, and its scales are
Okay.
reflective. So it's like
Okay.
it's like you're seeing almost like you're seeing a mirror inside the water. Except for the purple eye, which is now trained directly on you and is distinctly draconic in nature.
Okay. Do I assume you would tell me, but meta question, do I have to check for fear?
Hang on. No.
Just because
Does this dragonoid have a frightening aura?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I mean, unless you want to check for your own fear. It is a large creature.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, well, okay. Not bestial, draconic, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I will. Just to help. Okay. So Gruber, as a seal, sort of stops, tail whips forward, comes up to a sudden stop, and sort of does a burbling underwater bark to signal to Flop to stop and retreat over the mental link. Davina, we've got very large company. You might want to alert the others if you can.
Yeah, okay, yes, but first of all, you're an idiot. Second, I don't want to leave you here alone because that's how you die.
Oh, you're a seer now as well. And Grouper turns back into Grouper and then out loud goes, we're underwater, right? So continuing to speak in Aquan. Out loud in Aquan first, we'll go, hello.
Make an insight check.
Conversation is not over.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, dragon. Nope, that's a 9. It just rolled from the 18.
When you shift and call it hello, the head snaps in your direction. It had been idly gazing at something that was swimming towards it, but then magic happened and it talked, and the head snaps into your direction. Both eyes now focused on you as it's getting a little bit closer. Hello there.
Good. Oh, I'm sorry. What did it say?
Hello there.
Out loud or mentally?
Out loud. In Aquan.
Um, what is the name of the bay? I'm sorry.
Alset Bay.
Welcome to Alset Bay, or maybe welcome from Alset Bay. Do you live here? We're new.
Interesting. I've never had food deliver itself to me before.
You know, it's funny how that works. I feel like we should probably get to know each other, and then over the mental, like, get help, get help, get help, get help.
Make me a persuasion check. See if you can avoid it just eating you right now.
All right.
Because you are a chicken nugget.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm out of wild shapes. Natural 20 for a 23.
The head tilts. There's just something about the audacity of this small-sized fishman talking to this large draconic entity like it's an equal. That seems to have caught it off guard. Tilts his head. Get to know one another.
Yes, it just seems like the polite thing to do.
Awfully neighborly of you.
Well, I do try.
Now that you got a better eye on it, give me another nature check real quick.
Okay.
Do I have to visually be looking at someone to do the mental link with them?
You have to be able to see them. Yes.
Okay.
If
Well, the 15.
if you can tell me, and if that's not enough, I will spend an inspiration. That is a
That's
15.
enough. That's enough. Well, the 15. This is a young, admittedly, sea dragon. Young being in this case would be somewhere in the range of 200 to 400 years old, but
Okay. What do I know about sea dragons?
well, you know that they are amphibious. They are able to fly and swim. They are they are shark-like in many ways, but like a very intelligent shark. Like genius level intelligent shark. They are when they're young, they tend to, when they're young, they tend to be migratory, so they don't tend to actually, like, this one probably doesn't have a lair in the area, at least not immediately. It might be trying to establish one. And then as they get older, they become more and more classic dragon. This one's still like that. This one's still in the young category, as far as you can tell, but still very dangerous. It is a dragon.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
And it is more at home in the water than you are, and you have to be in the water for some period of time in order to survive.
Right. Did we have any back home, or are there any that we know of?
No, sea dragons very purposefully are kept away from the island.
Okay.
Because they would wreck ships. Like sea dragon, when a sea dragon, you know that when a sea dragon, you would have been taught this by
Father Martin.
No, by
Kervala.
Kervala. You'd have been taught this by Kervala. When sea dragons establish a territory, they see anything in it as fair game, including trade ships. So it's very important not to let one establish itself if you want to establish trade, because if it does, it's going to sink everything that comes by. And so they're very intentionally not any kept near, allowed to nest near the island. If this one
Okay.
decides that Alset Bay is its home, y'all will have to move. Functionally, is what this is, or at least not
Okay.
take the boat out.
All right. So over the mental link, it's a sea dragon. And then out loud, well, we're all having novel experiences today. I've never met something as wonderful as you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am a burden unlooked for that makes its bearer worthy by the bearing of Corlan Meekly.
I'm familiar with that place.
Really?
I'm unfamiliar with you, though.
Well,
Burden.
I'm new. And who might I say I have the pleasure and honor of speaking to?
One second.
Is Davina going anywhere?
She doesn't want to leave, Gruber.
He's got him talking. You have an opportunity to get Najka at least.
How far away is Notchka from where we are?
Literally inside the keep.
Yaltahum Alisar. He introduced himself as, which is Devouring Typhoon, translated from Aquan.
Okay.
Okay, Davina's going off to get Notchka.
Well, most glorious and fearsome typhoon, what may I say we have done to deserve the honor of your visit?
Still, at the moment, you intrigue me with your bravado. I have been searching for comfortable places for my lair, and this bay seems to be such a thing. Though I had noticed there were some bit of trouble on the land.
Yes, unfortunate that we had to come through and, kill everyone who was here first.
Save me the trouble. I appreciate the effort.
Well, again, we do try to be accommodating. I'll tell you what, why don't I give you a little bit of a tour? I just have found myself looking around, finding a layer of my own, so to speak, but why don't we tour together?
Oh, I don't think that
Davina,
I don't
over
think
the
that
mental
would
link.
be necessary.
Oh, she's gone. She's going to get Nashka.
Okay.
But I will ask you a question.
Yes, of course.
The head gets closer. Tell me, do you bathe regularly in spices? I would like to know how you taste.
There's someone on land who could probably give you a better answer to that than I could. I tell you what, why don't we go check in?
Make an insight check.
13. If
Run.
that's not enough, I will inspiration
A
that.
13 tells you run.
Okay. All right. It has Flop also fallen back. I did tell him.
Yes, yeah, you told Flop to fall back, so Flop's falling back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing the thing that I don't know if any of you have ever watched any carnivorous animals hunting, dogs in particular, where they get close to the thing that they're going to jump on and then they go really still. He's doing the dragon equivalent of that.
Okay. I have an idea that Craig, don't know if it would work or help, so I'm just going to ask.
Okay.
If I destroyed the water around its eyes, would it be the underwater equivalent of throwing water in someone's eyes?
Possibly.
Okay.
It would certainly affect one's vision.
Okay. I'm going to cast Destroy Water.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check, just to a spellcasting check, basically, just to see if you can accurately land it where you want it.
Okay. Again, I'm not trying to destroy vitreous fluid or anything. It just spellcasting check.
It's just your wisdom modifier plus proficiency.
Okay, I'll just do a wisdom save. 23.
23,
Hey.
absolutely, yeah. You are you immediately booking it as soon as you do?
Yeah, I'm actually what I'm going to do is cast it and then go for the nearest place. If there's coral or something nearby, like the nearest place to hide that I can get to within 40 feet of swimming.
Right. Just give me a stealth check. As you destroy the water around this thing's eyes, and it seconds before it lunges, and the lunge is definitely thrown off at this point because of that. At this point, Davina, you have gotten into the keep.
This is not over the mental link. Nashka!
Hears a scream and goes running.
Presumably, everyone else in the keep also hears that and goes running.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Grouper, sea dragon, snack, help.
Fuck. Question for the GM.
Uh-huh.
Nashka
I'm
would
going
be
to snack
well,
him a whole damn meal.
Nashka would be well aware of this. How low can the cannons on the ship depress?
Not low enough to shoot something underwater.
At least not nearby, anyway.
No.
I need to fix that later.
It's meant to be an airship. It's not meant to fire. It's not meant to shoot.
You would
things
think being
underwater.
able to depress would be even more important for an airship.
Well, when you can fly, you can angle.
Yeah, but that's uncomfortable for everyone on board.
That's why you're
You're-
at stations, not on the deck.
Also, you're in the middle of combat. I don't think comfort's the top concern at that moment.
It's also not meant to be a dogfighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
it is not shooting at things. Shooting at things that are underwater from above the water isn't optimal at the best of times. The ship is not designed to do that either.
Yeah, so if pulling the ship out and aiming a cannon at a dragon is not currently in the options, then Najka will have to go at this the old-fashioned way.
So Grouper with a 14 stealth, there's just not enough. There isn't enough like coverage around the bay where you're at to cover you. And what is there is different enough colored that you wouldn't be able to hide. You don't blend in very well. And you watch as this dragon, having sort of like shaken itself out of the bit of upset to the eyes that has happened, just opens its mouth, and this pressurized, you know how power washers work, right? And you know
I
how
do.
if you up the pressure enough, it can cut through steel.
Yep.
That comes out.
I was really hoping that was just a weird non sequitur.
Yeah, no. As it is attempting to hit you with its tidal breath. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Not my strong suit.
We're gonna say you have advantage because you did
Nope.
throw it off. You threw it off earlier, so with advantage.
Yeah, although that's a 4, and I have 4 or 2. Take your pick.
Would you like to use inspiration?
I mean, I got a 0 to Dex.
You can always roll.
No. I'm gonna let it ride. That's a 4 and a 2.
All right. How much health do you have?
45.
Hey, you only take 44 points of damage.
Hooray!
22 bludgeoning, 22 cold. And you are just launched out of the water as this pressure wave hits right next to you. Those of you that are on the shore, you see you watch the bay out closer towards the mouth of the bay just erupt as a massive amount of pressure goes off underneath the water, and you see Grouper flying through the air. Only 15 feet, but still. And then back in the water.
Fucking hell.
What you doing, Grouper?
Wild Resurgence, which is not an action. I'm gonna spend a spell slot and give myself back a wild shape.
All right.
And then I am going to bonus action wild shape into a what's you're still okay with me using my 6th form to be like essentially a level 0 grab bag, right? For little critters.
Sure, yeah.
What is the fastest fish that I know of? Like not threatening at all, just the fastest fish.
Let me see.
Like a pike or something that can go fast.
Yeah, I'm just filtering something real quick. What's your maximum CR?
My max CR at this point I think is still 1 until next level.
Okay.
But I'm not looking for
I know.
high CR.
I'm sorting so that I
Yeah.
don't accidentally find something that you can't turn into.
Yeah.
The
It can
fastest
be a reef shark. They're relatively fast, I think.
the fastest beast. Underwater. Dolphin. Swim speed of 60 feet. CR 1.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll turn into a dolphin and just
Yeah.
book it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
if you dash as a dolphin, you can get back to where the ship is in one round.
yeah, I was debating pass without trace, but I think I will cast run.
So you those of you that are on the shore still, you watch a grouper hits the water, and then a dolphin just sort of bounces out of the spray and
Can I change midair and like land as a like go back in as a dolphin?
No, because technically you landed on its turn still, but you
Fair.
definitely come back out as a dolphin.
Okay, cool.
Just and does the so long thanks for all the fish dash across the water.
Yeah. So sad that it should come to this.
And very quickly gets to the other side of the ship. And all of you that are on the shore watch as this Leviathan-esque draconic entity rises its head, most of its body still being under the water, out of the water to look towards the shore where the dolphin went and where you all are.
Oh, well, that's an easy target.
Out loud, Grouper just goes, "So sorry, previous engagement, goodbye."
As
So
Nashka runs to a cannon.
All right. You run to a cannon. Go ahead. Let's pull it up real quick. Are you running toward? So currently, it is in the fire radius of the heavy cannon and both light cannons. Oh.
I will fire the heavy cannon.
All right. Go ahead and fire that. Go ahead and make an attack roll with a heavy cannon. from the Braticati Ragnarok character sheet.
I will use an inspiration on that because fuck that noise.
Go ahead.
Fucking god damn it.
11 is a miss, but you do make a point. As the heavy cannon just the first time you actually fired it, you sort of you just go to the controls. You toggle everything on, hit the fire, initiate the firing command. And those of you that are not below decks, you watch as one of the as the big large sort of turret like cannon that's on top of the bridge. That's immediately above where the pilot sits, just turns slightly, and there is a bit of a glowing light, and then just a of energy as this rapidly accelerated bit of metal just launches itself, much faster than you've ever seen a normal cannon fire, and hits the water. There's an explosion of water. Not anywhere near the dragon, but it does cause the dragon to reassess the situation and dive back underwater. Anyone else doing anything else right now other than Grouper and Najka?
Where is Grouper right now?
In the water, but with the ship between him and the dragon.
All right, he just hears, Grouper, get out of the water.
I don't want to.
I-
Also, I'm a dolphin now.
Dolphins breathe air.
We don't move well, though, God.
Timbers?
Follow Noshka's lead and man a light cannon.
All right, go ahead, make an attack roll with it. This will be disadvantage because it is back under the water now.
Disadvantage. 13.
Similar, not quite as big of an explosion, not quite as big of a sort of recoil as it fires, but similar sort of effect as there's just a flash of light and just a poof, as a bunch of water sprays up as you fire a warning shot functionally. From below the water, Grouper, you can no longer see the dragon. The water has been churned up so much by the impact of the two impacts that you just it's all foam. You've completely lost visual on the dragon.
Okay. Do I have a sense of where Flop is?
We'll say Flop's on the shore.
Okay, good. Okay. Does that mean it's my turn?
Yeah, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I would like to continue to look for a place to hide.
Perception check.
You said
Really,
perception?
someone on the
Yeah.
helm.
Oh, well, okay. Najka is calling for somebody on the helm.
Davina will go.
Not good out loud though. You're underwater. You can't. You probably can't hear.
Yeah, I mean, underwater, you might be able to hear.
That's
her
fair.
shouting.
That's fair. Yeah.
So it's perception
I'm
check.
not at 1 HP anymore thanks to my temp HP, but I'm still not doing great. It's a 16.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, there's a small little inlet just by the docks that you can see. It's effectively like just a little cave that you
Okay.
can dip into.
Cool. I will dip into there.
All right.
And I will can I still bonus action heal myself? I think they got rid of that. I can just cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah.
I will Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
All right. I could have put. I should have put music on. I'm suddenly now realizing.
18.
All right. Yeah. No. The everyone that's on the boat can give perception checks.
Dice have decided they don't like me this session.
I mean, you bet in Davina. None of you see the dragon. Tenebris with 23. You don't see it in a way that makes you think that it might not be there anymore. It might have just left.
Tenebris will keep manning the light cannon and keep an eye out still.
Mhm.
And scanning the bay.
So yeah, Grouper's found a cave. Tenebris is scanning. None of you see the dragon. What's happened next?
Najka is looking for a dragon to shoot until she has confirmation that the dragon is fucked off for now.
Davina, what's going on? Is everybody okay?
Hold on. If I can't see you, we can't communicate.
Oh, okay. I still think that because I don't know that. Oh God, they're dead. I'm coming out.
So brave.
I think you only need to be able to see someone to form the link. I think once it's formed,
Yeah.
you can separate.
Is that right?
I'm pretty certain. Yeah, you have to be able to see them
okay.
to form the link. Let me see real quick.
Okay.
Telepathy. Oh. Hang on. Oh, it's right. It's part of your sonic focus. Okay, yeah, no, sorry, you do have to be able to see because it's not that you you can communicate with up to 6 people at once. It's not actually like it's not like a telepathic bond or anything like that. You just are able to talk to anybody within 120 feet that you can see. So yeah, no, you can't keep up a connection if you can't see them.
Gotcha. Okay, then yeah, connection's not there.
Oh God, they're dead. All right, so I'm casting Cure Wounds again and heading back out to take vengeance on the dragon.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
The water's still really churned up, but it's beginning to calm down. From what you can see from underwater, dragon's not there anymore. And from what you know of sea dragons, that amount of firepower, not worth it. It doesn't know what it can do. It's like a shark. It doesn't know it doesn't know what it can do. It's not gonna chance it.
Okay. I will swim up towards the surface and do some adorable dolphin flips and see if I can see my friends.
The three of you on the ship see a dolphin. It looks like it's begging for a fish.
Is everyone, splash, comes back up, doing okay, splash? And where is, splash, the dragon, splash?
Well, if you don't see it underwater, it's probably fucked off.
I can't see shit underwater.
Why don't you get on the deck and stop being a dolphin for a second?
If you've ever seen a dolphin look sheepish, you do now. And Grouper will swim over as a dolphin. What are my best he's not feeling fancy. Like are there ladders on the outside of the ship or anything?
Yes, yeah. There's a ladder on the outside.
All right, I will swim as a dolphin over to one of those. As I reach it, I shift back into Grouper and I'll climb up.
Wet fish gets on board.
This place got some problems, guys.
Well, if it fucked off, it might look somewhere else to try and make itself a problem, but it's probably worth keeping watches posted in case it decides to come back for a second go.
Oh, I'm quick thinking getting to the uh, getting to the guns, Grouper nods at Nashka and Tenebris. Vina, you okay?
Does nothing. She looks at you like she wants to kill you.
What? I'm so used to that expression now. What did I do this time?
She walks away.
Everybody's doing that today.
You just kind of walk
What
away
did I
with a
miss?
face.
You know, we were exploring. Um, you know how Vina's been wanting me to talk to Ella?
Probably a good idea.
Well, we did.
And
Dragon showing up is the second most traumatic thing that happened to me today.
uh-huh. You might have your priorities slightly out of order, but understandable.
His name was it the Roaring Typhoon?
The Devouring Typhoon.
His name was the Devouring Typhoon, and I'll say the full name in Aquan.
All right, well,
Said he was looking for a lair, a place to stay. So hopefully we just convinced him that this wasn't it.
well, I'm of a mind to keep the Ragnarok pointed outward so that if the devouring typhoon decides to come back for a second try, we'll see how much he likes to devour a railgun shot.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Well, and you two are okay? Didn't come up to the ship?
He stuck his head above water, but a few cannon shots sent him back away.
Okay. What is so what's our plan here? We're just gonna make this place a new home as much as possible?
For the moment, I've assuming that she got me a sending scroll at some point. I have sent word. I've sent word.
Not yet. You haven't yet. She's in the process of doing that. She just left like 10 minutes ago. Like,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
it's gonna be a little while.
When Rook gets back with some kind of sending tool, then I'll make my way out. Then I'll send a message to Whitestone and ask for a garrison to be established down here.
Yeah.
Whitestone could use a shipping lane, and if nothing else, it would give us a fortification to keep an eye on the rest of the continents.
That's handy. Tenny, you think we could make a dry dock out of this place?
Yeah, we could probably set something up. I'm not sure about getting something big enough for this and like stamps his foot on the ship. But I mean little vessels like fishing boats and
Give it enough time. If we decide to actually make this place our home and build it out a bit, we might eventually build a dry dock for the Ragnarok. If it needs, we'll need to have a dry dock for the Ragnarok at some point if we're going to do any actual refits on it.
Well, if anybody can do it, Tenny can. Grouper just kind of gives you a slightly weak smile. It's still a little shaken, maybe, but still a little thumbs up. I found, you know, while I was looking around underwater, I found there are some caves. I think I'll go down with Flop, check them out, see if they're just little crevices or if they run all the way in. We should, if there's underwater entrances to the rest of the compound, we should probably know about it.
Probably a good idea. See if you run into any pre-calamity metal walls down there. I found one on the side of the key, but I'm curious what its dimensions are.
Really? On the inside?
Yeah.
You think that's why? And Grouper kind of turns around. Can I still see Davina, or is she gone? Gone.
Are these just runes right now?
Right
the
now,
moment,
yeah,
yeah.
Like we
everything's
don't
just-
have everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. Right now it's just a
Um.
bunch of squatters, like very obvious signs of somebody having people having squatted here, and corpses because you haven't cleaned those out yet.
We did send them though, so
They've been sent, but they haven't been removed.
You can probably see her in the distance. She walked away without a place to go. So she's trying to make it look like there
he
is
had a place
somewhere
to
she's
go.
Yeah.
Walking with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, so Gruber will just lower his voice a little bit and say, "Do you think that's why the torchbearers were here? I think they're trying to excavate it."
If I had to take a guess, I'd say aye.
Or at least they
the-
had a hint that it was here.
That seems to be the only thing that draws torchbearers to anywhere. So
Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out. I'd offer to help with it, but unless you think moonlight's gonna help, I don't know that there's a tremendous amount I can do to try to get through it.
well, at the moment, the only effort that we can really make is seeing if we can find an actual entrance, because I'm pretty certain that what I found was just a wall. Unless it reacts to Martin Victoria, which we'll test that over the next couple of weeks.
Well, if you find any small gaps, let me know. I can, after a nap at least, I can turn into something little and crawl through.
I will let you know if I find one.
All right.
Good luck. I'll take care. I'll let you know if I find any more dragons.
Please do. I would like to know if we have to shoot anything else. Preferably before you get smashed.
Maybe stick to imaginary dragons instead of trying to find your own.
Those are radioactive.
But yeah,
They're not here anymore. We'll just find the bones.
with one potential crisis resolved, and who knows how many more on the horizon. That's where we're gonna go ahead and take our break. And so those of you that are watching live, please sit back. Sorry, no, stand up, stretch your legs, move around to whatever you do. Because when we take a break, when we take our break, you take yours. I'm sure all that came across perfect legibly. But please stay tuned for these commercial messages, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. A dinosaur story. So, over the next couple of weeks, Rook will get back to you with, after a couple of days, Rook will get back to you with some sending scrolls and some additional information on where you can find hirelings and things like that. And over the next couple of weeks, you will be constructing through your own means, through various materials provided to you, through assistance provided to you, your bastion here in Alset Bay. At some point in that process, Davina, you wanted to have a conversation with Grouper.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Before we launch into that, just confirming the cave that I found doesn't go underneath. It's just a cave.
Yeah, it's just like a little inlet.
All right, cool. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, Davina will approach Gruber. This is a couple weeks after everything's happened, right?
Have we talked at all?
Because
Up to you.
I think she's fine now.
Okay.
She was angry in the moment, and now she's okay. I think we have spoken since.
Okay.
But she's probably been a little not quite her usual happy self.
Fair.
But she's been doing a lot of thinking. So she will approach him and do the mental link. Gruber?
Vina, hi. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry for getting upset before.
No, all of this is a lot, and also dragon.
I was thinking, though, about something completely unrelated to dragon.
Sure. Good for you. Not something I've been able to manage much.
We're creating our own place here, right? I mean,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's the goal.
Okay, and you don't have to agree to this if you don't want to. But it's really hard for me to roam alone. And I was wondering if maybe the two of us could have our own place. Like we used to talk about when we were kids.
Smile starts to spread and then keeps going because Grouper has a lot of mouth to smile with.
It's kind of terrifying.
Lots of teeth.
It doesn't stop.
Never did.
Fina, that I hadn't thought about that in ages, right? With the hole in the floor, right? So I could jump in, or when you
Yeah.
get sick of me, you could just push me in.
Yeah, and seal it up when you're not looking. I mean, I won't do that anymore, but when we were kids,
Right. Yeah, you're not allowed to have any, planks of wood or anything lying around.
Okay.
I think that could be really great. There's during the whole dragon incident, I did find a cave. I was wondering if it was a network that went underneath. It turns out they didn't go anywhere, but there is a cave, really just a little grotto right off one of the shores near the docks.
It's actually it's actually underneath. It's immediately underneath the hole in Davina's room. I just can't set the room underneath that. So
Sure. Right on the edge of the cliff space. You could build up. So is there a ruin on top of it, or
no.
it's just?
I mean, yes, there is. There's like the ruin of like the dock, the ruined dock area, which would be where Davina would be building up a building.
Okay. I mean, it actually comes right up into looks like one of the old outbuildings. We could do that up without a tremendous amount of trouble. Flop and I have been dragging in some of our favorite pieces of coral into the little cave underneath just so they don't wash back out. But I I think that could work really well. Do you want to go take a look?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Um,
And she'll like put her arm around Grouper.
reach down.
Hmm.
Sorry I scared you. He pats her on the back of the knee, probably. Sorry I scared you. I just, just felt like I should try to keep everybody safe, and you were much better at letting everyone know and getting everyone together than I am, so I am trying to think strategically.
No, I understand. I worry about you. Probably more than I should. I
Well,
stick my nose in places it shouldn't be. But
well,
I
I
just
worry
want
about you more than I should too, so we got that going for us.
I just want you to be happy and
Well,
alive. That one's important.
I want you to be happy and alive too. So it gives you a little thumbs up. Codependency, right? We got that going for us.
Absolutely.
Um, and then as they're looking around, says, there's an awful lot here in this bay. Probably enough to keep the whole place going, even with this. You heard Najka talk about getting a garrison out here.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna need to feed them. We can start bringing things in, but I figure if it looks like there's a bit of a salt marsh around the corner, we could get a salting house going and start bringing some fish in. But if we're going to be, I think that would be enough to feed everybody. But if we're going to be gone, I can't be doing all the fishing. Maybe we'll have to see if any of the guys. Maybe I can teach some of these White Rock people. If is White Rock near water? Do they know how to fish in White Rock?
I love
So if you have if you have salt, if you have access to salt and lots of fish, you could start selling you could like start like a fried fish, like a fish and chip stand,
I
and
just
you
want
could
a
just
fish and chip
call
stand
it
out of the
and you could
forest.
call it a salt and buttery.
Yep, absolutely.
I love that name. I know Jeremy will hate it, but I love the name of Salt and Buttery for a fish
Oh no,
and
it's
chip
great.
stand.
I love the idea of a fish and chip stand. Um,
I mean, you
well,
got
I
herbs,
mean,
you got the potatoes from the herbal garden, you got fish. That's all you need.
well, Grouper, if you're looking for help and someone who can be here when we're not, it would probably make more sense for it to be someone that you already know and could trust.
Oh, yeah. There was a dwarf I met in Stilben. Uh, old
I
Al,
was
he
thinking
bought some of the
about
fish.
I
No,
was thinking about Quay.
oh, oh, sure, Quay. Yeah, I haven't, how's she? Oh, boy, she was always so quiet, but I don't even think I said goodbye when we left. We were in such a flurry. I should write to her anyway.
That would be a great idea.
Did you get a chance to say hi? She always used to ask about you.
There was a lot going on,
Yeah, there really was.
especially in my head and my yeah. There was a lot going on, but yeah, might be a good idea.
Well, sure. Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't know of anyone else back home who can handle a net quite so well, and who might be willing to pick up and leave. Everybody else back there who would fish is uh, firm roots down. Not exactly the fastest. Or no, he wouldn't say fastest. She's not exactly the most you know mutable. Do you really think she'd come and join us?
I bet if you asked her yourself, she would come.
Well, like I said, why me?
Oh, you guys have always had a close, like a really close friendship, like a
Well,
connection.
that's the thing about fishing, right? You know, hours together not talking. Nothing builds friendship better than that.
I just,
Sure, it'd be
I,
nice to see her and not talk again.
or you could also talk, or
I,
not, or
I
or
guess we're
talk
all
at
trying
all.
new things. He's clearly kidding with you. Sure, that's thanks, Vina. That's great. And you know, honestly, having a little bit of home around, that'd be nice. I wouldn't want to put her out, but couldn't hurt to ask.
Cooper, does Clayton know about you and Ella?
Well, you mean the whole, and he kind
The
of
the breakup.
wiggles his fingers, unpleasantness?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess we weren't exactly subtle when
So there
Ella
was a
came back to the
shouting match
island.
the day you guys met back up. That was probably heard by half the town.
No, but I take your point. Again, I'm sorry. I should have told people, and but no, I didn't tell her.
You probably should, because I mean, she'll notice it right away when she gets here.
Oh, because it would be really awkward.
It's super awkward. Yeah.
That's okay. Sure. Well, all right,
Unsubtle
Vina.
as
Thanks.
possible.
You want me to say anything from you?
Sorry, I had a thought. J- just tell her Davina says go for it.
I knew that was gonna come out of your mouth.
That's great. I love that. Sure, absolutely.
That was
I
my exact wording.
all right. Well, go ahead and write that right now. No time like the present, right? A handwritten, hand-inked letter, and he turns into an octopus and goes off to milk himself of some ink to write with.
That's the most disturbing thought that I've ever heard of a druid doing.
As he walks away, just under her breath, she says, "Sorry, Ella."
Ella turns around from a corner. No, I'm not gonna assume that.
Ella backstabs.
Just sneak attack. All right. Any other conversations while the bastion's getting built? So, over the course of the next few weeks, people come in from all over. You have some people from quite a number of people from Whitestone coming in, both to help with the construction and to take positions at the bastion. Two people that sort of stand out. They're the people that are going to be taking control, taking charge of the barracks and recruiting for you. You have Ursula, who is a large Alberkin woman from Whitestone who is wears the armor of the Pale Guard, which is sort of the primary guarding organization within Whitestone. Who I will get you an image for that momentarily. So Ursula and Aster, who is much more wearing. Ursula's wearing this large, like sort of like blue and gold plate mail outfit, where Aster is wearing an outfit much more on the lighter side of things, as he is coming from former drill sergeant from the Weiss and Rifle Corps. Now, with the gear and stuff that you acquired from the people that were here previously, Najka, it's going to be up to you, really. You could either ship back or destroy the guns that were here, or you could apply them to your armory and have a full armory without having to spend gold on it.
Yeah, I think she's going to repurpose all the weaponry that was here for arming the barracks.
All right, so we'll go ahead and say that the armory is full without having to take that that particular action to fill
Yeah.
it based off the stuff that you had here already. Where is stuff? As I'm desperately trying to find.
Yeah, especially because if any of it's in poor repair, she can just fix it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, here in nope, not there, there. I'm putting in Slack, and we'll show it to the stream at some point. There you've got Ursula, this large white feathered, extremely large woman, Albercan, which is functionally if an owlbear learned how to stand on two legs and talk. And then Aster being the two people that are manning the barracks. Where are you? I know I've got you somewhere. Why can I never find... I mean, I know why I can never find. It's because I've got so many images. There it is. And Aster. Astro will be manning the dockside. Will be manning the dockside barracks, and Ursula will be manning the keepside barracks. Basically, if either side of the bridge, dockside is the left side of the bridge where the docks are, keepside is the right side of the bridge where the keep is. While you're building things up, you realize you are able to sort of identify that there are 3 floors to this building. There's an undercroft, which is sort of not really a full floor. It's not really a full basement floor, but it is a series of passages underneath the keep that seem to have been initially intended for being able to get out of the keep without being noticed. It doesn't seem like they were ever fully finished in their initial construction, so there's no there's only really one exit, and it goes immediately underneath the bridge. But you are able to find that exit. So basically, immediately underneath the bridge, there's a very small walkway that comes right around to sort of the ground just on the sort of bay side.
Does that
of the
bridge
walkway.
raise, by the way, or is it basically just like a cutoff for how big a boat can be going up and down that river?
It does not raise, but it is quite a distance out of the water. It is not full on sailing ships can't get up the river, but riverboats can.
Mhm.
It does not raise though. And the river's not wide enough for you to really take a full size ship up it, anyways, or deep enough. So yeah, so there's the undercroft, and there is the second floor, which is largely just open rooftop and palisade. Though there is sort of a basically like sort of a an empty space immediately up the stairs above the what will eventually become the dining room and kitchen area. That isn't really being used for anything at the moment. Obviously, this can all be built on later, but that's what you're starting off with. Is a sort of crown on top of the palisades. You are not able to find any connection point or any other evidence of the ruins. Not without actively mining into the mountain, which you haven't done yet, at least. But
That's a future plan.
So
does the wall react to Martin Victoria at all?
It does not. Martin Victoria will go and attempt to interface with the wall. It doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah. In addition to the 2 from Whitestone, you also have a pair of smiths coming from Whitestone as well, with their connection to Najka. These are Zhenya and Ziad. both of whom are coming to from Whitestone to serve as the keep smithy. And they are going to be in Slack as well there. Zinnia is a Goliath, extremely large one, and Ziad is a lizard folk, which is interesting because they cannot regulate their own internal body temperature. So whenever he's working in the forge, he only works in the forge for limited periods of time, and then he has to leave and cool down and then come back in.
Zhenya is cloud giant folk, right?
Storm giant.
Storm giant.
Mhm. Yeah, occasionally, whenever she is hammering away at stuff, electricity will start crackling around her hammer.
Mm.
Those are the full list of people that come to you from Whitestone. From the Stillbin area, you also get Old Alki, who Grouper met in the docks, who comes to operate the dockside storehouse, where he will be able to, he will basically be salting fish and preparing them for trade, and sort of.
He seemed
working on
nice.
trade things. He
recommended a hammock store.
He recommended a ham store, and he's very particular about his books, and is quite happy to get out of Stillbin and operate here. Additionally, you find some travelers that were in Stillbin and sort of got stuck because of financial reasons that were absolutely happy to take a job. Eugenio seems to have come in from Marquette and is a gardener by trade. That because Davina is looking to put up a herbal garden, was able to acquire Eugenio's services. Pull that in here. I'll also pull in Old Alki so you can see him, because I'm actually really happy with his token that I made.
I really like the picture you showed me. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a great picture.
From also from Stillbin, you find you acquire what's the name that I'm going with? Gail, Gail, who is a member of the Arashari, who is something of a scholar. Not really on the sort of fighter defender aspect of things, but is somebody who is interested in learning about new things, particularly new magical things, and adding it to both her own existing repertoire of knowledge and the knowledge of the world as a whole. Davina seemed to hit it off with Gail in particular, and is coming to work in the library for Davina.
Don't like them.
You haven't even seen them yet.
They hit it off with Ella. I don't like them.
Davina.
Davina.
Oh, Davina. I like them very much.
Is there something Grouper hasn't told Davina?
No. If they're nice to Davina, I like them very much.
I said
Kinds of
Davina, and
messed
for
up
some
love
reason
triangles.
you heard Elvira.
I think I heard library. That's what my first was. I forgot you also had a library.
Yeah, Davina has a library too. Hers is the better library.
It's gonna get very damp.
It is the same library. When I add it into the map, they will be connected. So there's Gail. Gail, who comes with a sky sail, which is a staff that has collapsible like leather wings on it, and flies through very basic rudimentary application of magic. All right, William, you can exit the phone.
It's Aang staff from Avatar. Yeah, and I can drop my phone now that Jeremy's here.
Stop.
Oh, there's another person.
Hi.
There was a dragon.
Grouper made bad life choices.
I saved
What else
us.
is new? He dated Ella.
And today I hit on a dragon, sort of.
So things that you missed, Jeremy. Grouper almost got et by a sea dragon. who he
choices.
who he
That's what happens
swam-
when you hit on him sometimes.
who he swam directly towards instead of away from. Um,
Damn it, Cooper.
the dragon was scared off by the cannons of the ship. After Grouper got hit with I described it as, you know how you can pressurize water to a point where it will cut through steel.
Mm-hmm.
That, but from the mouth of a dragon.
Wee.
That's what everybody else says. Everybody else thinks it was scared off by the main guns on the ship, but I think it was scared off by these guns.
Grouper, after getting launched away, turned into a dolphin and ran the fuck away.
Very graceful.
And now we're getting into the building of the Bastion, sort of going over the hirelings that you're bringing on, what their roles are, where they're coming from, what you learn about them, and sort of having everybody establish their things, getting their rooms put together. I don't know if there's any conversations that you want to have in particular with anybody while that's going on, or in the process of that, because it's going to take a couple of weeks.
I will ease in. The other people keep going.
Cool.
And see how it's going.
So I've just introduced Gail, who is the second librarian, because I forgot about Holly's library when I was building the map. And Gail is an Arashari. Also in the library, coming from Elefira's contacts, we have
Elrin, something like that. They're in your select your select.
Yeah, I'm just locating them.
Airwell.
Yes, Erwell Galaman, a Firbolg, a Firbolg member of the Cobalt Soul. Especially a Cobalt
Is
Soul
old
archivist.
Alki a human or
dwarf? Old Alki's
he's a dwarf? Okay, I could not tell based on I could not assume his proportions or height based on the fact that he's sitting at a desk that is sized for him.
Yes. Yeah, no, he is a dwarf. He has a 5 o'clock shadow because he shaves every day. Similarly, Erwell also has 5 o'clock shadow because he shaves every day, because Firbolg are particularly hirsute people.
Yep.
And I somehow
Clean shaven in the morning, 5 o'clock shadow about 30 minutes later.
5 o'clock shadow by noon. Yeah. Full beard by the evening.
5 a.m. shadow.
To me, for some reason, Erwell end up looking a little bit like a Firbolg version of oh god, the Mummy.
Arnold Vosloo?
No, the also Tarzan, or not Tarzan.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Yes. For some reason, like a Firbolg version of Brendan Fraser.
I was gonna say he's a little bit more smashed than I expected, but I'm okay with that.
Of course you are.
Remember the Cobalt Soul, and the one that you haven't really, that none of you are really interacting with all that much, mostly because she's ended up establishing herself within the undercroft of the keep. Oh, also, Jeremy, you over the course of which you established that there are 3 levels to the keep. There's an undercroft, which is a series of tunnels underneath it that seem to have been meant for quick access out of the keep without being seen. It doesn't look like it was ever finished. The only exit that it has currently is out underneath the bridge, which it sort of exits out of the bridge as a little lip that loops back around up onto the bridge.
Okay.
There were no other entrances. There were no other access points to the pre-calamity ruin that you were able to find without doing extensive mining. And
right.
Applying Martin Victoria's gauntlets to the wall doesn't seem to do anything. But operating a sort of a garden / alchemy lab for poison specifically in a section of the Undercroft is
starts with a G.
Grace.
Grace, yes.
Is it like old mushrooms?
Grace Casco.
Mushrooms and plants. She has a variety of unique exotic plants that she is also growing that grow well in the dark. That she is also growing.
Okay.
anytime anyone comes in, she very politely asks that they be careful where they touch. Grace Caspo. Her accent. None of you are able to place her accent as far as where she's from, and she doesn't reveal where she does not. She doesn't like to talk about where she came from prior to arriving here, and I don't know that that's something that Elafira would talk about either. But that's up to you, Jeremy.
No.
Maybe it's just
Grace's
'cause I have-
secrets are Grace's secrets to have.
Maybe it's just because I have Brendan Fraser on the brain, but I'm also getting Rachel Weisz tiefling vibes from Grace.
I'm not complaining,
No, why would you?
right? Yeah, I think Ella gets along very well with Grace. Very friendly sort of relationship there. Tox gets interacts well with Airwell. Airwell just doesn't get along with anybody
Yes.
because he's bad at things like empathy and remembering to eat or sleep or
He's in a word,
things
autistic.
like that. A little bit,
Um.
but she likes him a lot.
Also coming from parts unknown are the two people that just happened to be in Stillbin at the time that signed on to operate the Good Goblin's storeroom and the armory for the keep. The armory is being taken care of by Quartermaster Vivek, who formerly of a Hobgoblin Legion, who does not really talk about why that's formerly. But he has a very regimented mind, and is very good at making sure that everything in the armory is neat and tidy. If this was a film, he would be German, for those exacting German standards. So that's Vivek.
So in other words, a British pretending to be German.
Yes.
If it's a film,
Fair. And also Itri. Itri is a trader that is particularly good at trading with communities that don't normally get heavy caravan trade with, given that he is a grung.
Yay!
We're one grung ahead.
Haha.
He is a very dapper, dapperly dressed grung, though he does also wear a protective rubber suit because his skin is poisonous, toxic, both. Yes,
Poisonous.
poisonous.
Poisonous if they bite you, they die.
Yes.
Venomous is if you bite them, they die.
Toxic is both.
Toxic is anything that does not agree
Yeah.
with the body.
Yes.
all of the above, really.
Yes, his skin is poisonous. He does have to have certain bits of his skin exposed just for comfort and accessibility reasons. But you do notice that whenever you go into his storeroom, there's always a washing station, like a hand washing station, immediately inside the inside the structure. Anybody else let him? Oh yes. From the island, we have manning, sort of serving as a dockside fisherwoman rather. We have Quay, who is several. All of you would know actually. Various iterations on what you know about this person, given your backstories, but she is a large turtle fisher lady, quiet, soft-spoken. Some of you may know more about her than others. She's happy to spend quite a lot of time sitting on a dock with a fishing rod in her hand.
Yay! It's great.
By the
Does
sounds of it, she'd also like to spend a lot of time with Grouper.
does Ella know anything like about Quay in that way?
That's up to Jeremy.
Just wondering.
What?
Do you?
I don't
Jeremy
know.
hasn't been here.
Yeah,
Ella- does-
you're gonna have
So-
you're gonna have to
so-
clue me in because I'm.
Would you? This is somebody that grew up with all of you in Skrios. Would you have
Mhm.
bothered to learn anything about her? She is a quiet turtle.
Honestly, probably not.
Fair.
Like, not in the core friend group, then moved away. Like, no, I don't think so.
Then no.
I just want to note in the past couple weeks, Davina has been staying away from Ella.
Okay.
And lastly, but certainly not leastly, there are the three members of the workshop that are operating under Tenebris. We have the headman of the workshop. These are all shipwrights and carpenters that Tenebris has made acquaintance with over the years. I don't know if you have an idea of where they came from, but they could literally be from any port that you've operated in, or any ship that you've operated on. The headman is Benaiah, who basically is a very matter of fact take charge of an individual who very clearly takes charge in the workshop. The heavy lifter is Birisk, who is a Behirborn, large four-armed, blue-scaled, electrically aligned, draconic-esque, reptilian-esque creature. And Dimkax, a kobold, who's, you would say he's the details guy, but most of the time you see him crawling out of spaces you didn't realize he could fit in, having done something you don't understand. And apparently the other two do understand it and appreciate it.
Tenebris knows what it's like to be the small guy to get into the tight spaces.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows what it's like to be the small guy.
And I think that is all of our hirelings. You have not yet had time to. You have not yet had time to hire any additional staff through the Defenders. But as the Bastion comes together, and you all finish laying your final brickworks and the like, we get to take our first Bastion turn. Which means that I have to pull things up because I do not have what Bastion turns are memorized.
That's what the Dungeon Master's Guide 2024 is for.
It is true. All right. And I will get with Jack later and see what they want to do for their Bastion turn. But a Bastion turn is something that happens every so often, whether or not you are at the Bastion. You currently happen to be at your Bastion, which means that you get to make decisions about the way your Bastion is run. If you're not at your Bastion, functionally everything just maintains. The people that are at your Bastion maintain their previously given orders, or just maintain the building and make sure everything is running smoothly. There are certain things that you can do while you're away, sending messages or letters to say, hey, do this thing, whatever. But largely, you have to be at the Bastion to do the greater percentage of things that you can do in your Bastion. Each of you have yes, every 7 days of in-game time, there's a Bastion turn. So basically every week, once the Bastion is finished being established. So you can either maintain, which is what happens when you issue the order to maintain, which is typically what happens when you're not there, or you can give a specific order to one of your special facilities, each of which has their own thing that they can do. I think we have almost all the special abilities that you could have. We don't have any of the magic ones right now, but we'll go over what those orders could theoretically be. Starting with Shawnee, and we'll just go around. We'll go ahead and just take our turns here and figure this out as we go. So Shawnee, you've got an armory, and you've got a barracks and a smithy. So you could either give your smithy the craft order or your barracks the recruit order. Those are going to do two different things. If you give the barracks the recruit order, they are going to go ahead and recruit 2 defenders. I think 2 defenders? 4 defenders. Up to 4 defenders. Sorry. Up to 4 defenders to defend the bastion. When you're not there, the defenders are the people that keep your bastion safe. Because when you do maintain orders, I get to roll events, which may or may not cause damage to your bastion.
I'll note that you can issue orders to all of your facilities.
You can issue orders to all of them? Cool.
Yeah. On a bastion turn, a character in their bastion can issue special orders called bastion orders to 1 or more of their bastion's facilities. Character needn't issue orders to all of the special facilities on a given bastion turn, but you can.
So what orders are you going to be issuing Najka for your first bastion turn?
In this particular case, I am going to issue to the barracks. I'm going to issue the recruit order so that they can start recruiting some guards. And to the smith, I am going to issue a craft order so that they can start working on a suit of half plate, because medium armor is going to be a relevant thing that I need to get my hands on.
So at the moment, they can't actually craft armaments yet. They can't craft armaments until they are level 9. Up until that point, they can craft.
That's when they can craft a
tools.
common or uncommon magic item.
Yeah.
Or then they can craft anything that can be made with smith's tools.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood that. I misunderstood that sentence. All right, never mind then. Yes. So what are they making?
They're going to make a suit of half plate, medium armor.
All right. I don't know how long that takes. I'll figure that out.
It uses the standard crafting rules, so it's going to take a while.
Cool. All right, they're making armor. So then we go to Jeremy. So Jeremy, you've got your library and your garden.
Mm-hmm.
Your library, you can issue the research topical lore order.
Correct.
And your garden, you can give them a harvest order if you want.
And that one is going to harvest 2 antitoxin.
All right.
2 vials of antitoxin. Research. Still going back and forth a bit on this. I think. Tell me if this is too broad. But Ella is going to direct Erwin to try to research into what essentially psychic abilities, the things that Davina has developed.
So the topic can be a legend, a known event or location, a person of significance, a type of creature, or a famous object. So type of creatures that can use psionics, or legends about psychics.
The former.
So type of creature that can use psionics.
Actually, no, legends about psionics, because that's just going to get into like mind flayers and shit.
So so absolutely, you can absolutely have that kind of thing be researched. So he will spend the next 7 days researching legends about psychics or psychic powers.
Cool.
All right, Craig, you've got a garden and a storehouse.
Okay.
So similar to Elvira, with a garden, you can choose to have them harvest something, and they'll harvest something over the next 7 days for free.
Yep. That's what they're doing.
Yours is food.
Yep.
So they're going to harvest 100 days worth of rations over the course of the next 7 days.
Yep. And I would like so I mean that's what Quay is going to be doing.
And so with your storehouse you can trade goods. which basically just means you spend 500 gold, and they will spend the next 7 days acquiring goods that can then be sold. Acquiring 500 gold's worth of good, and then they will be acquiring things that they can then sell for a higher price.
Right. I was curious if we could take the food. I don't know if you can do this the same week, but the whole concept of it being a salting thing is because we're here. Take the money made from the harvest and convert that into goods.
You can't the first week because you don't have anything in store.
Got it.
But after the first week, yes, you can start turning those rations into gold if you want to.
Yeah. So I think because I don't have 500 gold because I spent it on hammocks, I think I'm going to give. Functionally, I'm just going to give. I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
No.
Oh, functionally, I think I'll just give old Aoki the maintain order. Technically, what he's doing is as Quay is bringing in fish, he is salting them and storing them.
Yep.
And then when I actually tell him to store things, he'll start setting up trade lanes and so
you've
on.
got one maintain and one harvest.
Yes, please.
All right, Trevian. So you've got your barracks, which can start recruiting.
Yep,
if you
and
want
they'll recruit.
Right, so they'll be recruiting 4 defenders there, which means that by the end of the week you'll have 8 defenders total. And then you have your workshop, which can craft any sort of adventuring gear. And if you spend a short rest in the workshop, you can gain a heroic inspiration. That's just for free.
They'll craft some studded leather armor.
So anything made with the tools you chose, and you chose. I put it in your notes. What'd you choose?
Carpenter's tools, glassblower's tools, leatherworker's tools, painter's tools, tinkerer's tools, and woodcarver's tools.
Leatherworker's tools means that they can make studded leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I actually was just double checking the storehouse. Apparently, the trade order can gain. You can spend the 7 days gaining stuff worth 500 gold. It doesn't cost money.
It says that you're responsible for you bear the total cost of any purchases.
Yeah, it says the hireling spends the next 7 days procuring non-magical items that have a total value of 500 or less and stores them there.
Or uses those 7 days to sell them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says you bear the total cost of any purchases. Is that
which is
so that's I have to give the 500 and then they buy them.
Yeah.
It's not just they do it automatically.
Yeah, they have to have the 500 gold in order to procure the items.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you can give them as much gold as they can as you can up to 500. You can give them up to 500 gold to procure items and then start selling them. They make it at current level. They make a 10% profit on whatever they sell.
And that cap increases. I see how it works. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Cap increases as you gain levels.
Got it.
Yeah. They don't generate free money, but they turn your money into more money.
I did not read the fine print on that, but that absolutely makes sense.
They turn your items into more money. If you give them items that have gold value, they can do they can skip the acquiring part and just go to the selling part. So it's a good place for instance, a storehouse is a good place to offload your random loot you get that you don't want to keep a hold of.
Hooray!
Things like that.
And because the storehouse
auction house.
Yeah, because the storehouse works that way, I'm also assuming that for the buildings that craft, we probably also need to provide them the materials. It doesn't say that they need the materials for the crafting position.
So for the crafting things, you do not have to. You are not responsible for the materials for those. I
know that for the craft magic item, we do have to get the materials
for magic items, yes, but for basic items, they can. It's assumed that they have the funds to acquire those things. The reason why you're responsible for the gold value for the trading post is because
it just makes you money.
Turning gold into more gold.
Yeah. Does anybody have stuff that they want to sell? Because otherwise, I'm not doing anything with my storehouse.
Or just gold that you want to give to the storehouse. You can also take gold from other people. And
I had about 500 gold worth of crafting materials that I will. I'm still holding on to that then because I don't have to give most of it to the smithy for making half plate, and I use that for my shit.
Yeah, the idea is that they make enough money to sustain themselves just off off the things that you don't tell them to do. So
Mhm.
that's where they get the materials from for making items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and put 100 gold into the workshop, or into the trading post.
Into Gruber's storehouse, right?
Yeah. So we can start making profit.
All right.
Call it an investment.
So we've got that. And we've got leather armor coming from the. We've got recruiting leather armor. Davina or Holly. So you've got a garden which can be harvested, and you've got a library which can do research. So for yours, because you went with the herb garden, you can either harvest herbs to create 10 healer's kits or 1 potion of healing. For free.
Go with 10 healers kits.
All right. So over the course of the next week, over the course of the next 7 days, Ingenio will harvest. All right, sorry, Eugenio will harvest enough herbs to craft 10 healing kits.
And for reference, because the workshop and the smith both use the player's handbook crafting rules, it'll take 4.5 days to make the studded leather, and between the 2 people working in the smith, it'll take about 5 weeks to make the half plate.
There's 3 people working on leather armor, by the way.
Oh, there's just 3 people. Oh, cut that by 3. Cut that by 3 then.
So
Divide that by 3.
you said 4.5 days.
Day and a half.
So day and a half.
You said 4. You
Yeah,
said
day
4.5.
Day and a half.
days,
Then if
right?
all 3 of them are working on it
Yeah.
nonstop.
I mean,
Characters can combine their efforts to shorten the time. Divide the time needed to create an item by the number of people's working on it.
it'll be done before the next bastion turn.
Yeah.
All
There are
right.
only 2 people in the smithy though, so the normal 10 weeks of making a half plate will take 5 weeks.
And what would you like to research?
Would she know what Ella's researching? Because that's what she would go for.
So they are your 2 libraries are going to be basically like attached to each other. So that
Mhm.
depends on whether or not Elefira talked openly about research in front of you.
Given
that you've been
I
avoiding
know
Elefira,
meta-wise
Yeah,
it would
she's-
make sense.
she's been
That's
avoiding.
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
given that you've been avoiding Elefira, probably not.
It's
Well,
okay.
the
Double
same thing.
researching isn't
Yeah,
bad.
double research is fine. But yeah.
Would you like to research legends about psychics or types of creatures that use psychic powers?
Legends.
Because that might turn up different relevant information.
Yeah.
Okay. So two researching on legends about psychic powers. Note worth of note. You can also research a person of significance or known events or locations.
Oh,
instance-
believe me, I thought about that one real hard.
Davina, you could research Silas Freshen.
I
Did you
thought
say
real hard about that.
Silos?
Or
Or
Silos. How
Si-
I
No,
go back and
it's like
forth.
Silo. Sorry.
Your nightmare person.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you could
Yeah.
research him.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Please.
So, yeah, you
I
will
thought
have,
about that one
Research.
real hard.
Silos. Yes.
so you will have Gale researching Silos. All right. And we will figure out what the good goblins are doing with their bastion turn later. But yeah, that's our first bastion turn, and no one did a maintenance because no one did a maintain because Grouper ended up putting money into, or not ended up putting money into Grouper's trade house. Does anyone else want to put anything into the storehouse? Either
I'll
items
throw 100 gold in.
or gold. 100 gold. That's 200 gold. You can have up to 500 gold worth of items acquired.
Yeah, I'll put 300 gold in.
All right, so that's going to max out at 500.
Through I'm sorry, names are completely escaping me right now. Drevian's character.
Tenebrous.
It is
Tenebrous.
not being given directly to Gruber or the people working there.
So, because we gave them gold instead of stuff, it's going to take a week to buy and then a week to sell.
Yep. and then but at that point they'll also have the 100 days worth of rations that can start cycling into the storehouse.
Yeah.
Now let me double check something really quick here, because just so that we all are aware of what the options are, the good goblins have an armory and a storehouse. So they can also start trading for goods with their storehouse, or purchasing goods to trade. And they will also have the option for the armory to trade stock to stock the armory, which basically they get to for 100 gold plus an extra 100 gold per defender in the bastion. They get to stock the armory. Since we know we're going to have 8 by the end of the week, they can start doing 800. They can start getting stock in there. The amount of stuff that you have currently will only cover 4 defenders. So that'll be
Of
the
note,
equivalent of having
our
to put
bastion
500
does have a
gold into the
smithy.
armory. All right, with a smithy, it does reduce the cost. So instead it's 100 gold plus 50 gold per other defender.
The total cost is halved.
Oh, sorry,
So it'd be
total
50
cost
gold
half. So
plus
it'd be-
50 gold.
Yeah, 50 gold plus 50 gold. So, actually, in that case, if it's halved because you have the smithy, if they decide to do that, then you actually just pay for it entirely with your guns.
Yeah.
So, you will have a fully stocked armory if that's the thing that they decide to do, which I assume they will, because there's only the one action. Unless Jack just wants to issue a maintain order just to see what
Just to
happens
see
with
the
the
event.
bastion events.
Yeah.
Just because
Because had anybody issued a maintain order to one of their facilities, I get to
There's an
roll
event.
on a bastion event table, which is a D100 event that tells me what happens to that facility over the course of the week. It can be anything
I
from
was not going to be. I was not going to be the person who had you roll something terrible that happened first.
it can be
Yeah, so
anything
if
from all is well to you're attacked to your hireling for that facility is accused of a crime and has to escape in the mountains. A wide variety of things can happen. All right, but no one has
Was our earlier visitor the result of a roll on the table?
No. Now the other visitor was just a consequence of where the bay is,
Entirely fair.
and
Legit.
the fact that you were having an argument underwater, which makes sound and would have drawn attention. But yeah,
If a character isn't in their bastion on a given bastion turn, the bastion acts as though it were issued the maintain order on that turn, unless the owner can communicate with the bastion hirelings through sending spell or similar magic.
correct. Yep.
So unless we got a way to talk back to them on any time that we're out and about, the entire bastion maintains unless we have a way to communicate.
And I make a D100 roll per order.
Which will be the order is issued to the whole bastion, so it'll be a D100 roll for each of us as a player that owns a bastion.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
So we have our bastions established. We have our hirelings hired. We are in the process of manufacturing goods and services. We have a mysterious metal pre-calamity wall at one end of our bastion. We have our rooms. We have our lodgings. Everything has been built and put together to your specifications, but modifications if it has to be a thing. And for now at least, you've run off the sea dragon that was in the area.
Hooray!
Any questions about the bastion and its environments and its surrounding environs that you might have for me while we're still here looking at it?
Nope.
Right. So you issue your orders. You go about your time. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before we move on from the bastion?
In relation to the bastion, or just stuff that's happening during
in general,
that
while
week?
you're still here in the bastion, before plot starts to happen.
All right, gotcha. Well, there's all this cool bastion ordering stuff and orders we have to do, but there is drama that my mental radar has picked up on, so I have to go pursue it and go find Davina to talk to.
Let's go. All right.
Yay, drama.
Listen, there's two things that I play role-playing games for. One, apparently to die and roll poorly, and two, drama.
Is this why your characters and I never talk that much? Is it because I'm not usually that much of a source of drama?
I'm here to crit fail and play drama, and I'm all out of dice.
Yep. I mean, yes, kind of.
In World of Darkness games, you talk a lot.
That's not inaccurate.
In World of Darkness games, everything is a source of drama. Being
yes.
not a source of drama is a source of drama in the World of Darkness.
I think it's hilarious that you think Kara is not.
I didn't say I wasn't talking about Kara.
Okay. I was gonna say is not dramatic and a source of drama. She is both. But yes, I go find Davina wherever Davina is,
All right.
as opposed to where she isn't.
I assume.
You would either find her in her room or in the herb gardens. I can't speak, outside her room.
Where would you prefer me to have found her?
Either is fine, really.
If you do it outside, Eugenio gets to watch.
Yeah, so
I mean,
knock
she
on
can
the
also
knock on
take
the door.
her- Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Knock on the bedroom door.
Davina will open the door.
Hey, you got a minute?
Feel free to describe your room. Well, now that we're having a scene in there,
Yeah.
Davina.
Yes. There's not a bed. There are lots of carpets and large fancy throw pillows everywhere. And the walls of it look like Ariel's trove of treasures from The Little Mermaid.
Nice.
With, like, all kinds of just fun. Some of them are just completely random baubles that she may have just found, like, at the bottom of, like, a bank somewhere or something.
Love it.
They're just on the wall.
And the back wall is just a bunch of open curtains currently
Into it.
attached to arches.
And there's a hold on, where's Grouper's hole?
Hey,
Where is Grouper's hole, Davina? There's
I don't know.
there's what looks like
I
a
don't know. It's been a while.
there's what
For water.
there's like a pool in the back
Yeah.
2 squares. Right there. These two. Oh, wait,
And yeah, Grouper's area is like under there. She can push him in there if she gets annoyed with him.
I don't know if Elefira has been around enough to know that connects to Grouper's room, honestly.
Might not.
I feel like giant hole with water might give it away.
I mean, it looks like quite honestly, it looks like a bath or a pool until you get on top of it and in it.
well, especially since like Davina's room is not connected to the rest of the house,
Yeah.
and she always needs to be with somebody.
And it's kind of it is kind of like known in general that they're rooming essentially, right?
Feel like it's very difficult to hide the fact that the two of them are basically rooming.
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like even with the sort of like affected disinterest that Ella seems to be trying to give off, I mean, she's essentially an intelligence operative, right? Like, I feel like there's no way she doesn't know where everybody is.
Well, there you go.
Kind of. Unfortunately, my stats do not necessarily reflect that because wisdom is my dump stat. But yes.
I said intelligence operative, not wisdom operative.
Well, I didn't say emotional intelligence operative.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my god, I want to play that in a game sometime. An emotional,
The emotional
intelligence operative.
You did. Don't you remember the Call of Cthulhu
I was
game?
about to say,
Oh,
that was
that's
your Call of
true.
Cthulhu character.
That's true. Fuck. I'm picturing like rappelling in through a window. Hey, you're looking kind of down. Do you want to talk about it?
That's what you did.
That is basically
frequently.
what your
Yeah,
Call of
yeah,
Cthulhu
you're right. No, you're
character
right.
did.
You're right.
Yes.
I almost
But
got eaten by a Tamagotchi, but yes.
Yep.
That's a good game, y'all. If you are watching this and you haven't watched our most recent Call of Cthulhu game, you should. It was good.
It's real good. Shockingly, our characters did not get along in that.
But we're
yeah,
in love in this one.
Yeah,
Are you?
Or
We started off in love in this one.
yes. Anyways. So you have a minute?
She's looking so nervous
yeah.
right now.
Nice.
Where is Grouper at this moment? Is he with Quay?
I feel like they're out on the docks together. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
Fishing,
She's
yeah.
like, okay. Yeah.
like, yeah, or like going over the nets or something.
Am I gonna have to kill an NPC? Well,
It depends
shit.
how
Okay.
jealous of him are you gonna tell.
Okay,
you ask
so-
where Grouper is, and you look over Elafira's shoulder. Like you, the player, ask, but then Davina looks over Elafira's shoulder and sees Grouper like splashing around in the water near where Quay is just fishing.
Remember, my passive perception is 9.
You have no idea. You see Quay fishing, kind of as you
Yep.
guess, kind of.
I feel like they're repairing nets together on the dock.
Yeah. Did I do something? And if so, sorry.
No, nothing. This is all out loud, by the way. She's not done mental link.
Okay. Because you've been kind of distant.
Okay, mental link now.
Okay.
I'm just bit busy, you know?
Insight check.
Deception check from Davina.
Davina's charisma.
Wow.
You have an inspiration to use, Jeremy.
I do. Yeah.
And you only use it for
Go
petty
for
I
it.
crimes.
only use it on useless drama. Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not?
That's better.
There we go. 17.
Davina has definitely been preoccupied with something, but not. There's a different reason why she's been avoiding you.
Okay, seriously, what's going on?
Okay, fine. I need to ask you something.
Okay.
And it's gonna be really personal, okay?
Okay.
I understand if you don't want to answer. Okay.
Okay.
The reason that you and Grouper broke up, was there actually someone that you left him for? Or was that a lie?
There is a look around.
You're talking in your brain.
Yes, I know, but still, there is an instinctual look around. Why? Why is that? Why? Why?
It's just something that's been on my mind. It's a feeling I had. I just wanted to ask.
Without committing to an answer one way or another, this is a between us thing, right?
Between the two, yes, I'm not gonna tell Cooper.
Okay. No.
Note.
No, there
sorry,
was
out of
no
kid.
other person.
That's what I thought. Then why?
Because a lot of reasons. Like, okay. There are a lot of reasons. This is just just one thing. So believe me, I thought all of this stuff through for the reason that it took. Well, it's not the only reason it took so long, but part of the reason why it took so long, why it took a year, because I thought through every single possibility. And I know I wasn't supposed to be there on that island anymore. I didn't think he needed, didn't think he was meant to be anywhere else. And how does that work? I get him to leave. He's not happy wherever we are, especially because I'm not around most of the time because I'm running around from place to place looking into things. Resentment comes,
Well,
fights come, etc.
he's not on the island now. And
No,
he
he's
seems
not.
happy.
You're right, he's not. I didn't anticipate this part of things. I just imagined that
There isn't any resentment going on.
I just imagined that that was going to be a problem. And even let's say he leaves, like, again, not anticipating this part of it. Think back then. Was there anything in your mind that ever imagined that he would be the adventuring type? Do you think he's the adventuring type now?
I mean, he seems to have taken to it fine.
He's doing okay with it now, but like if he had his choice and he could get at least some of us to come back with him,
Davina, he
where do you
swam
think
up
he'd be
to a
happy?
dragon and refused to swim away.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. I was inside.
Davina was.
And so he was going to be out on the mainland at risk, especially if people if I get in over my head on something, I make an enemy. They decide they're gonna get back at me by hurting somebody else. Like there were so many reasons. I had a year to go run through all this stuff. I can't hear you. It didn't pick up.
Sorry, I have another personal question for you.
Okay.
Do you think there's any scenario where the two of you get back
I
together?
have no fucking idea.
Okay.
That's entirely dependent on a lot of things.
Then I need you to understand where I am coming from.
Okay.
I want to see him happy.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I thought maybe it would be with you. But I think there's too much there right now.
Right.
So I did something.
Okay.
She kind of just glances out the window at Grouper and Quay.
Wait, who the fuck is that again?
Do you not remember Quay from the island? She grew up with us. She was kind of quiet.
Kind of. I don't know. It's
Kept to
kind of a
herself.
blur.
Spent a lot of time with Grouper, fishing and stuff.
I guess. Kind of. Not really.
Okay. Oh my gosh, am I the only one that notices? Okay, and you know what? I bet Nosh
Listen.
noticed this as well. But okay.
I'm sorry, I don't remember every single person from the island that I was trying to get away from since I was like 12.
She has a huge crush on Grouper. She has for many years.
Okay.
Grouper's been oblivious to it because you guys have been together. Plus, he's Grouper. So when he needed someone to assist him with fishing here, I told him to write to Quay.
Okay.
And I told him to tell her that you guys are broken up. Because she didn't know.
Okay.
That's why I've been avoiding you. I'm sorry.
I mean,
But I want him to be happy.
fine. It's all good.
Okay.
She says on the outside, internally screaming.
You don't know that. No, it's totally fine. And you don't have to listen. You don't have to avoid me.
I felt really awkward about it. I mean, Grouper still has no idea. Because he's Grouper.
Wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. So let me see if I understand this correctly. You told him to send a letter to the quiet weirdo that hung around us all the time and was
Right.
obsessed with him.
She's
And
nice.
and
Sweet.
by the way, mention that we're split up. Mention that you split up with Ella, but didn't tell him that
I
that
dropped
she's
some
fatal
hints.
attractioning him.
Oh, that's not how things are. She's very sweet, and I dropped some hints to him, but he's very dense.
So he has no idea.
No, he doesn't. I was hoping she would take over at some point.
I look outside.
I gave her the go ahead.
It's at this point, Elfira, that you remember she's a turtle. Slow is kind of their thing.
They are not talking or looking at each other and just both very intently. Or I don't know what Quay is doing. Grouper is very intently untangling a knot in a net.
Quay is doing the exact same thing, but at half speed.
Oh, this is fun. Even if I was potentially upset, I have no reason to be. Because one of two things is going to happen. A, nothing. B, creepy girl's going to go creepy girl and try and do something insane, and then we're going to have to kill her. So it's fine. One of those two things will be the case.
We've known her since childhood.
That doesn't mean anything.
I told you there was a knife problem.
Okay, this is different.
I'm not there. I'm not there. Sorry.
It's fine. I am not worried about if there is no reason for me to be worried. I have no place of worry inside me in the first place. But if there was,
That sounds like something that somebody who has no.
I have no reason for that. Because I don't see any situation where your matchmaking turns out the way you intend it to be.
So you're saying you don't see her as a threat?
At this point, while you're having that conversation and looking and watching them,
falling over
and watching them, their hands get a little bit close because they're untangling like the same series of knots, and they do touch hands temporarily for a moment while they're untangling knots.
I continue being on the floor laughing. I just make notes and start thinking about my next garden order.
The poison garden, correct?
Yes, the garden order from the
The
poison
garden.
The poison.
perfectly
poison
normal
chosen especially
garden.
to kill Quay. Quay's poison.
That poison? Yes, that poison.
Yes, outwardly, no reaction.
The poison chosen specifically to kill Quay.
Nina knows.
It's fine. You're good. There is nothing wrong with this situation right now.
Wonderful. So anything I may do in the future, you will completely be fine with.
Well, that is a
That's a blanket
very
statement.
open carte blanche. No.
How blanche is my cart?
That's the, I mean, I'm not saying that you would, but that leads to a whole bunch of potential consequences.
Oh, I meant towards this situation,
So did I.
she says, pointing at them.
We don't know that she's not going to cause the next calamity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Well, you don't worry.
Well,
Do not
I'm glad to know
feel
you
like
don't want to kill me.
Oh no.
That was a really long call.
Yes, because I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit offended by that.
By what? The me setting this up, or
No, you being worried about how I was going to react.
You're very stabby and mysterious, so
Yeah, but I'm still me.
I mean, yeah, but okay, it's fine.
You didn't seriously think that I was that I might do something harmful, did you?
No, not harmful to me. But, I thought you might be upset with me.
I mean, when you say it like that, though.
I mean,
Not harmful.
I'm not, but even if I was, I'd get over it. You're you. I know you wouldn't do it in a malicious way. Fine. Promise.
Okay.
Editor's note: she was not fine.
You
Quay
don't know that.
disappears in the
She
middle
was
of the
fine.
night.
She was fine.
It'll be even worse if she is fine.
All right, I think that's a great way to. That's a great place to end for the week. So,
Fair.
say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.